Here's 2 things I learned that will help you to have no regrets. Number 1, no amount of regret can change the past. Senior year of high school, I was really into this girl. Let's call her Amber. When I say into her, I'm talking like borderline in love. So Valentine's Day that year comes around and I ask her to go on a date and she says yes. Up to this point, I played it really cool. I didn't really give her that much attention, wasn't really texting her that much. I was basically just being gangster about the whole situation. But the minute I met up with her for that date, I started tweaking. I just became awkward and stiff as hell because I was so worried that I would do something wrong or mess something up. I liked her so much that I was scared of doing anything that pushed her away. And that kind of resulted in the conversation not really being as good, me not really being as outgoing as I could have been because I was just so scared of messing something up. I had to ask her if I could hold her hand, if I could put my arm around her, if I could kiss her. I was just so nervous the whole time that I didn't really have the ability to just enjoy myself and have fun. And that resulted in boring conversation, boring vibes, and it was just not an enjoyable experience because when you're anxious the whole time, you're not able to relax. We did end up going on another date after that, and we did hang out a bunch of times after that, and they were fun. We ended up laughing, holding hands, things like that, but I think the underlying desperation and I guess awkwardness on my part was kind of the underlying tone of basically the whole relationship. After that point, one night she eventually texts me and says we need to talk, which I'm sure you guys know by now is never a good sign and always causes maximum anxiety. And the next day we met up after school and she said basically that it wasn't working and that we could just be friends. And in the moment the conversation was like pretty chill. Like I remember we were just like laughing and chatting like it wasn't really a big deal or anything. But a few days later is when it really hit me that the thing I'd been working towards, the thing I'd cared about most for like the past 5 or 6 months, was basically gone in an instant, and there was nothing I could do about that. All the progress, all the late night FaceTime calls, all the texting, all the hangouts, in an instant it was for nothing. And the thing I wanted most in the world at that time was denied, and I just had to live with that. Literally days later, quarantine hits, nobody can go outside, we don't have school, and guess what the first thing that my mind goes to is I kept thinking about this situation. I kept replaying these situations over and over and over again, thinking about things I could have done differently. Oh, I should have said this. Oh, I should have never listened to my friend's advice about this. Oh, I should have done this. Just constantly replaying certain scenarios where I did do the things I wanted to do. I did put my arm around her. I did hold her hand. I did kiss her. I kept replaying these scenarios over and over and over again, just dreaming that I would one day get the chance to make things right and change it. But eventually I realized that no matter how much I wished I could go back and change the past, it was impossible. I tortured myself for basically 2 months, asking myself, why did I fuck this up with my dream girl? I was so mad, and I just kept wishing I could go back and just change it. But eventually I slowly realized that as much as I wished I could go back and change the past, I was never gonna get the chance to. These fantasies where I did everything right, where I said the right thing, where I did the right action at the right time, they were just that, fantasies, and they were never gonna come to be in reality. I knew that if I tried to talk to her about things, I would just end up pushing her away, coming off as desperate and needy, and just making our relationship even worse than it already was. So that wasn't an option. I realized that engaging in thought exercises of what I would do if I was given the chance to go back was ultimately unproductive, and wasn't improving my life. It wasn't improving the lives of others. It just wasn't changing anything. So there was no point in wasting my time laying in bed, replaying these scenarios over and over and over again. And it was at that moment that I realized that no amount of regret can change the past. As much as it hurt, The past was always going to be the past. There was no changing that. So wallowing in my own remorse about my past actions was pointless, and I could be using that mental energy, that time, to actually improve myself, to improve the lives of those around me, and just become a better person. So once I understood that lesson, even though I still had some lingering feelings for her, over time I stopped thinking about her at all. Point number 2, realize you still have the present. So much of the time we agonize over the things we did or didn't do. We feel bad because we hurt that person, or we lost that job, or we didn't start that project earlier, not realizing that we still have the whole rest of our lives to rectify those mistakes, to do those things, to make that situation right. Me, for example, I can hate myself and spend all this time regretting the fact that I didn't start working out when I was 13 or 14, so that now I'd be David Lade levels of aesthetic, saying, oh, if only I started sooner, or oh, I wish I got into the gym earlier. Or I can spend that time that I would have spent wallowing in my remorse going to the gym today. I'm 21 right now, and since the gym is practically part of my daily routine at this point, by the time I'm 25, I'll probably have a pretty fucking good physique, which is still really damn young. To act as if I fucked up majorly just because I didn't start earlier is stupid, when I could just be using that mental energy to put 100% of my being into getting my best possible physique as soon as possible today. I can't change what I did in the past, but I can focus my mental efforts today to achieve the result I want as soon as possible. And this applies if you're 21 or 51. Forget about the shit that happened in the past. Start today. What's the point in feeling regret about past mistakes if you still have plenty of time to rectify those mistakes or take action on the things you wish you'd done earlier? And I'm not saying to take this as let me sit back, relax, just chill because I have so much time. I'm saying that if you start putting in the work today, if you start chasing the thing you always want to do today, if you start working on fixing your past mistakes today, you can still have a fantastic life. And listen, I'm not saying it's easy, but it is possible, even if you feel like it isn't. Don't wallow in remorse that you didn't start playing guitar when you were younger. Start playing guitar today. Don't beat yourself up over the fact that you weren't a better son to your parents when you were younger. Call them and start being a better son today. Be a better person today. Like I just said, it's not like you can change the past, so why don't you focus all your mental energy on your actions and thoughts today, the things you actually can control, the things you can change and make better. Stop hating yourself because of the person you used to be or because you haven't achieved your goals yet, because I truly believe it's never too late to become the person you always wanted to be, even in your very last moments. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So go plant that tree, because you won't regret it. Bonus tip number 1, don't indulge in your pointless fantasies. Never indulge in fantasies about you somehow getting the ability to go back in time and fix all your past mistakes, because it's not gonna fucking happen. Time travel doesn't exist. Yet. Accept reality for what it is and strive to make it better. Bonus tip number 2, gratitude. Learn to be grateful for your mistakes, because there are often lessons hidden within them. Why would I feel bad about my past screw-ups if they've all brought me closer to figuring out how I should live my life in a way that feels right to me? I know it's hard to be grateful, especially for the bad things that happen in our lives. But it's when you start being grateful for everything that you stop feeling like life is out to get you, that you've doomed yourself, or that you're cursed, and you instead appreciate your experiences and the things that have happened to you because they've made you a better person. You start to reframe past situations as ones that gave you the opportunity to learn and grow. It's as simple as saying, I'm glad I made this mistake because it taught me how to do things better next time. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope these tips helped and you guys can start living a life without regret. Because once you do, you stop wishing or dreaming that you had somebody else's life. Learn to appreciate and cherish the one that you do have. I can't think of anything more satisfying than that. Alright, enough sentimental shit. I'll catch you guys in the next video.